Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. We're going to be looking at part 5 today for the breakdown of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the spoiler version, so once again, if you have not watched the film, please do be patient and try to watch it first because you will enjoy so much more if you don't know what's coming. And trust me, there's a lot that's coming, and we'll be looking at part 5 today, which is All the King's Horses. So, this is obviously a Humpty Dumpty quote. All the King's horses and all the King's men could not put Humpty back together again. And, on contrary to that, we actually see the League trying to get Superman back to life, which they do eventually succeed. But the steps taken to it, I felt was not bad actually. It was pretty cool. We see Barry Allen and Victor Stone digging up the body of Clark Kent, and I kind of find it really like this part for me felt a little bit weird. Like the league should have taken some steps to kind of, or rather Batman should have taken some steps to kind of hide Clark's body. I felt that it was really dangerous just leaving his body in a regular graveyard, because we know for a fact that Lex Luthor knows who Clark Kent is. And be it as it may, even if Bruce Wayne has all the what do you call this trust in his guard of Arkham Prison, because at the end of BBS, you see that Batman will tell that I am shifting you to Arkham because I got some friends there. And the reason Batman shifts Luthor to Arkham is so that he can keep a closer eye on him. However, at the end of this, we do eventually see Luthor break out, and I feel that the Batman was not cautious enough. Like, despite him having trust in the prison guards or whatever, he should still be wary that if Lex Luthor is capable of creating a fight between the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel, he is obviously capable of figuring out where Clark's body is and digging it up and creating another Doomsday. And that would have been an extremely terrifying turn of events. But thankfully, Clark's body lay rest exactly where it was left, and for that reason, the League was able to dig it out. But I just felt that it was so dangerous leaving the body of a Kryptonian there, considering we know what happened to the last body of a Kryptonian that was around. Anyway, we see Flash and Cyborg digging out Superman's body, and then we see Arthur and Diana, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, having a little conversation about the Amazons and the Atlanteans. And I found this rather nice. It is a good way to show how they have started to accept each other, started to agree on working together as a team, and you can really see them more so formed as a team, especially after their meeting with Batman. And you can kind of see the transition from when they were with just Batman to the point where they actually came together over the concept of bringing Superman back to life, because they all agreed on one thing, which is they all need Superman. And be it to save the world or to be the bigger the bigger superhero out there, Superman was someone that they none of them were ever able to be. And for that reason, they all agreed on one thing, and it really brought them together. Then I like these little jokes between the Flash and Cyborg, where he's like, do you think she goes for younger guys? And then Cyborg says she's 5,000 years old. All she can ever go for is younger guys. And once again, this comes me back to my theory in one of the previous parts, which is Wonder Woman truly 5,000 years old? So my guess is it is possible that Diana was born around 5,000 years ago. Probably after the battle which chased away Uxas, because if she was already grown up, she would have been around. She would have been part of the fight against Uxas, which she was clearly not. She only knew about Uxas from stories, and she only, what do you call this? Um, Ever saw the portrait of Uxas in the ruins, ancient ruins. She may have seen it in Themyscira or something, but she's never met him in person, and that was pretty much certain. And for that reason, I believe that she is still short of 5,000 years old. That's a gap. I really need some closure on this. Anyway, after digging up the body, we see Alfred and Bruce actually have a conversation. And this is very, very similar to the conversation that they had before the Dark Knight went after the Man of Steel. And now it is the complete opposite, where Alfred is telling him like, "You've done enough. Don't bring down this charging bull. I mean, sorry, don't wave the red cape at the charging bull." And Batman is like, "This you do when it's this red cape. This red cape charges back." And I love that dialogue. This is very, very similar to the one where he tells that even if there's a 1% chance, you have to take it as an absolute certainty. And I felt that this was reminiscent of that dialogue. And yeah, so the League packs up Superman's body. We see what do you call this? Them preparing to go into Star Labs, which they do eventually, and Silas apparently does help them out a little bit. He doesn't alert the guards. He lets Cyborgs kind of hack. Cyborg basically hacks the system to chase everyone out, and Silas knows that it has to be a false alarm, but he allows it to happen anyway, knowing that his son is there and they have something important that they are up to. And them going through the ship as the Superman suits open up as the ship can detect his presence. I felt that was a really beautiful touch, man. Zack Snyder, I mean, I don't think anyone else has this kind of attention to detail and ideas, and these ideas are just pure brilliance because we will never get to see them in any other film, and it will be a loss for the DC universe when Zack Snyder no longer produces DC films, because you're not gonna get this from anyone else. You're probably just gonna get another action comedy like Marvel, or you're gonna get some solo film like the Joker. But to bring the League together like this and have so many details sprinkled around, so many Easter eggs, so many references to the comics as well, it's just crazy. It is crazy, and man, all right. Anyway, so the team comes together. They get Superman's body ready to be woken up, and we can also see shots of Lois actually trying to let go of her past, let go of Clark finally. And I felt that this was also really, really, heavy because Lois is trying to let go while the team is trying to bring him back. And you can see the parallels as well as how it is two opposites. So I felt that was really emotional, and the way they transition between Lois and the League, trying to do the opposite things. Lois is trying to let go, and they're trying to bring him back. It felt really important for everyone because it really shows you uh, how much Superman means to everyone. So anyway, when Lois is in her house, she pulls her drawer to get her press card, which says Lois Lane Daily Planet reporter. We also see underneath that there is a pregnancy test, and it says it's a force majeure pregnancy test, and this clearly means that Lois has been testing herself for pregnancy, and it is most likely because she has a super baby. And we do know that Zack had some plans to have Bruce's child in Lois. And all right, so here's my theory on this. My theory on this is that in the previous timeline, right, the one in BBS where Flash comes and says, "Am I too soon? Oh, I'm too soon." So in that timeline, it is possible that Lois had Bruce's child, and things went really wrong. But in this timeline, for some reason it wasn't Bruce, but it was Clark Kent who was able to have a child, and things really turned out differently in this timeline, which is the reason why they were able to finally, do things the way they really wanted to. So let me just adjust this. All right. So as I was saying, um, and yeah, I mean, that's just my theory on these two parallel timelines because we do know that all of this has transpired in one way or another. But it is possible that in the timeline that Barry Allen comes to, so let's say the Barry Allen in BVS is timeline A. This is timeline B. So my guess is in timeline A, there's no Barry Allen in that Bruce Wayne's Batcave. But in this, there was a Barry Allen. So because there was a Barry Allen here, there was some sort of butterfly effect which affected Bruce to not get close to Lois, which is why in this timeline, Clark's baby is in Lois. But in timeline A, it is possible that Bruce's baby was in Lois because Flash didn't appear to say that Lois Lane is the key. So possibly, Batman was just a little bit taken aback by that in this timeline. So he's just like, I gotta be like cautious with Lois Lane. and they come to this point in time. So anyway, we do see the team try to bring Superman back, and I absolutely love the idea here. They need to charge up the mother box to bring Superman back, and Flash is getting ready for it. Lois Lane is also visiting the place where the monument of Superman is located in the center of Metropolis. And as Cyborg is trying to do this, the ship, like the Superman ship, is actually trying to warn him that this is a bad idea. And this is when we actually get the nightmare sequence that Cyborg gets to see. So my guess is this nightmare sequence is given to him by the mother box, the same way the mother box revealed to Steppenwolf about the location of the anti-life equation. Is this same mother box, or rather this particular mother box that they're having, the last one, is revealing to Victor what will happen in the near future. But because it is channeled through the ship, right? The Superman ship is using the mother box, so the mother box is connected to the ship. So it is possible that because Cyborg is connected to the ship, through that connection, he gets to see what's being shown by the mother box, and the mother box is the one throwing him this vision of Darkseid taking over the planet. And we get such incredible moments in this, right? We get the death of Wonder Woman, and we get to see Darkseid witnessing her funeral, and the Amazons all cheering up for her. We get to see Darkseid in Atlantis, and I believe he is killing Aquaman, and also, you do get to witness his Omega beams for the first time in live action, something that has never been done before. It looks absolutely incredible, and I believe the person he kills with the Omega beams is Vulko. So Vulko gets absolutely obliterated. His body just doesn't get sliced; he turns into bones, and that's pretty incredible. And I mean, come on, we never thought the day would come when we would get to see not just Darkseid but Omega beams, and this is Omega beams underwater, and you can see the water boil as the beams go through it. Man, it's absolutely insane. Darkseid looks incredible, and then we get a shot of Superman in what is clearly the Batcave, holding this burnt skeleton, and we do know. If you follow Zack, you will know that the skeleton is Lois. Oops, spoiler. But in the background, just to give it to the audience that this is the Batcave, there is the Robin's what do you call this, suit in the background. The one that says "ha ha ha, jokes on you, Batman." That particular one, which was worn by Robin when he was killed by the Joker, that's in the background there, just to emphasize to us that this is the Batcave, and you can see Darkseid standing there, his eyes glowing with the anti-life equation, the power of the anti-life, and he puts his hand on Superman. This is most likely, the moments before he's able to use the anti-life to turn Superman evil. So how that takes place, we unfortunately don't get to see in this, but we do immediately get to see shots of the destruction of Earth. We see Kilowog dead, so we do know another Lantern did come to try to protect Earth. We do see the broken shield of Wonder Woman, the portrait of Thomas Wayne, showing the Hall of Justice destroyed. So most likely Superman came to destroy the Hall of Justice. Aquaman's trident is there as well, and I'm not sure if there's any other references. I can't really see from my pause and play, but there could just be. But I do know Superman is holding the cowl of Batman, and he's clearly dead right now. So after this vision, I like how Victor says no, but Flash says let us go, and he goes for it. And the moment he does that, um, you hear the ship say the future has taken root in the present. So this is the ship with the knowledge of what was given by the mother box, telling Cyborg that the future he saw has now taken root in the present. So basically, the timeline that he had a vision of came into reality, and I felt that was really terrifying. The whole process of it, the thought of it, and it was really cool as well, really awesome. And I like how, unlike the previous 2017 version where the mother box is just left there, we actually see Silas Stone doing something about it, because obviously someone would have seen the mother box, and it's great to know that Silas took responsibility and went after it right away. I was just surprised that no one else actually did anything about it. That's the only thing I have to say. So we see Superman come back, and the League tries to, meet up with him, but he's clearly scanning everyone with his X-ray vision, and that activates Cyborg's defense mechanism, where he tries to fire Superman. We see the entire fight take place similar to the 2017 version. This clearly means that all of this was just Snyder's brilliance, and his fight coordination, his choreography, and all that was just amazing. Superman just taking out the League was exactly what we would expect it to be, right? It's just incredible. And I love the Flash scene. Doesn't matter how many times I see it, I love it. The way Superman turns his eyes in slow motion to be up to speed with the Flash while Flash is using the Speed Force, and he realizes that there is someone else who can actually, is of equal speed or similar speed to him, and that is absolutely terrifying as Superman comes in and just tries to beat up the Flash, and we can clearly see Superman is still holding back to some extent because he's just not going full heat vision in the speed and just flying straight at him. He's like trying to grab the Flash, and once the Flash falls down, because Superman knocks him, he Flash holds up his hand, just terrified of Superman going to heat vision him. But Superman is clearly, holding back. You can see him take his time, observe the fear in Flash, and he gets shot by someone else, so he turns his attention, knowing that Flash is definitely not going to do anything about him right now. So I think this is more of like an alpha moment of the Kryptonian just waking up and just trying to understand his place of in the world. He hasn't fully come to his senses. He's still in the battle mode and fear that he was when he was killed by Doomsday. So it's kind of like waking up, after you get knocked out while you were in a fight. When the moment you wake up, you still are trying to fight because you don't really realize what happens during the time you passed out. And you can see this if you watch a lot of MMA or other sorts of fighting, where after these people get knocked out, when they get awakened, sometimes they even punch the medics because they don't realize that the fight is over. And it's just quite terrifying to see. A Kryptonian in this mode. It's really scary. I love how he just like Superman also dodges the Flash as he runs into Aquaman. I felt that scene was really awesome. Everyone's just trying to catch Superman basically, and they just can't keep up with him. He's too fast and he's too strong. And even when he is headbutting Wonder Woman, you can still see that he is still holding back because he doesn't really feel like he needs to kill these people. And after Wonder Woman retaliates, he hits her a lot harder, and she goes straight to the ground. But still, he is not interested in any of them. He is going for Batman now, and he finally unleashes his heat vision, and as he is taking his time firing at Batman, you see Lois come in, and he observes Lois for a quick while and turns off his heat vision. And in this moment, you realize that he has he witnesses Lois, and he completely stops. He completely comes to his senses. And I wanted to bring this up, but I just watched a recent video of an interview with Zack, and there was also a person who put this on Reddit. Let me try to get her name. What is her name? But she was right, and I had a similar theory, which is Superman was basically just scanning everyone before he attacks them, and that is why he attacks the League, because he believes they are all a threat, and which is why he attacks all of them. But the moment he sees Lois, he scans her and he realizes that there is a child in her, and he probably can detect that it is his child in some way or another. And upon realizing that his child is in Lois, he comes to his senses. So it's not just the sight of Lois Lane, but more importantly, the mother of his child and his child in her. And I felt that, although it is subtle, and although like normal viewers would get it that, oh, he sees Lois and it comes to his senses, for those who want the layers can watch this again and again and realize that after scanning Lois, there's a child in her. And he realizes that, and he comes to his senses and he's looking for answers, and Lois is like, please, let's just go. And yeah, they shoot off. And I know you're wondering how he can move at supersonic speeds while holding Lois safely. I've said this before in one of my previous videos, but In case you need an explanation, Superman uses electromagnetic waves to fly, and he can protect whatever is in his close, it's like really close to his body in that same electromagnetic wave. That's how his suit stays indestructible for the most part. Right after that, you get a shot of Aquaman pointing at the Flash in anger for Flash ruining his attack, and Flash says, "I'm so sorry." I felt all these jokes landed so perfectly. There's no need for boob jokes and butt jokes and whatever, and America's ass, or all that nonsense, because you get all these real good like jokes that land perfectly. It's not jokes that happen during the fight, it's not jokes that happen during serious moments. It's jokes that come and go as and when really necessary. And I felt that some of the jokes in this film are obviously added because Zack knew that he had to lighten the mood after BVS. And I don't mean that these are reshoots or anything. I mean they were really added when he was shooting the Justice League, because he knew he took the feedback from BVS and made this a lot more lighthearted, and also for the fact that he's bringing in a lot more characters, especially Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman. I think he felt that the mixture of lightheartedness would give them each their own weight. So Flash turns out to be that guy. And I like this little shot of Ryan Choi looking up at Steppenwolf as he comes to look for the mother box. I felt that that was a very, like it's a nice little touch to just let you know that this Ryan Choi, who will eventually be the Atom, as we do know from Snyder's interviews, it is a real show of his strength, where he knows he can't fight Steppenwolf now, but he's not afraid of him. He's standing up. He is just looking at Steppenwolf, and that little touch was pretty nice. And then Steppenwolf just jumps in with his spike mode activated. I like how he activates his spike mode whenever he needs to fight, and activates it when he's like talking or just chilling. And Silas is clearly seen using technology created by Ryan Choi to heat up the mother box. And upon knowing that Steppenwolf is in pursuit, he locks himself up inside the chamber that is used to turn on this heating mechanism, and he dies in Dr. Manhattan style. And I felt that was really beautiful from Snyder, just throwing back to the Watchmen itself. Steppenwolf, Cyborg does try to get in the way, but to no avail. Steppenwolf is just too strong. He gets the mother box and teleports out. And the conversations that take place in this scene are all really beautiful. Um, they realize that Victor's father is dead because of this whole ordeal that they try to go through to get Superman back to life. And then Batman realizes that Cyborg realizes that the reason his father used the laser was not to try to destroy the mother box, but to try to superheat it so that Batman can, or someone can eventually pick it up from a satellite, because it is super hot, and it'll definitely be detectable by some form of a radar or sonar or something like that. So Batman says he has 6 satellites, and Cyborg is already using it to track the mother box. So Silas basically sacrificed his life to give the team another chance. He doesn't know whether they will or will not succeed, but his sacrifice was what really gave them that one last chance to stop Steppenwolf before the unity can be formed. And it really shows you the arc that Cyborg goes through, and it truly is the most pitiful arc and the most important arc as well for any Justice League member. And I finally did manage to get the last viewing done with my wife, and I asked her as well, what do you think? And we all feel sorry for Cyborg the same. He really went through a lot as a person, and even after he comes back as more machine than man, he truly is human enough to understand the importance of sacrifices, and he really wants to do something about it, even if it means sacrificing himself. So like father like son, he truly is there for the better of the world, and it really makes him a really important superhero. And I can't believe that Warner Brothers wanted to cut out, this entire story of Cyborg, his father, and the importance of Cyborg to the team, as well as the importance of Silas Stone to Star Labs and the Justice League as well. And it really puzzles me how anyone can let this slide and say that, oh, Warner Brothers had to do it because they wanted to cut down the film. No, there's a lot more to the story that um, you know that I feel was intentionally cut and not purely for the runtime. There's something else going on, something darker, and that's what part six is going to be about. And I'll be back for that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I've been following some of the Ray Fisher's tweets, and I stand with Ray Fisher. I'm pretty sure most of you do. And whatever happens, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about the truth. And as Wonder Woman says, I believe in truth in the cringy version of the Whedon cut. We do all need to sometimes believe in truth, and we do need to know what really happened behind the scenes with the Justice League, Ray Fisher, and all of that. And I hope someday it all comes to light, because we think the day would come when the Snyder Cuts actually gets released, right? We all fought together, we all stood together, and it was not about being toxic. It is about being brave and being persistent. And you know they use the word toxic to kind of undermine it so that they can push it under the rug. But just saying toxic uh, is not enough, because people are smart, right? People are smart enough to look back, look to like do research of their own, look up articles and read as to what the fandom has actually done. And if you really really read through and see what they have done, there's actually not much toxicity. As for those who threatened the Warner Brothers executives or whatever, are like a real minority. There's like probably a dozen people who actually did that, but they highlight what these dozen people did over what the millions of fans did, which was help AFSP, help raise awareness, accountability over entertainment, and all of these things. This is what the majority of the fan base did, but they will pick through every imperfection, every corruption, every little bit of thing that they can use to defend themselves, and they will blow it up, and they will make that seem like that was the majority of it, just so that they can shut everyone up. And of course, they clearly failed because people aren't stupid anymore. Everyone has the internet. People are a lot more knowledgeable now than back then. They don't just believe news articles. They don't just believe, variety. They actually listen to interviews from the people themselves. And I love how Zack just doesn't go through mass media. He actually goes through small YouTube channels, and he actually helps out all these little vocal minorities to bring their voices out, because he realizes that when he gets interviewed by these ordinary people, they don't want something just to clickbait. They don't just want a spoof to write about you or to write some wrong about the fandom. They just want to hear whatever it is the man himself wants to say. They don't care about selling papers, making millions. That's not what their intention is. They just enjoy being able to talk to Zack Snyder. They enjoy being able to show that they're contributing to this fandom. And I love how Zack has chosen to be part of this. And I've never seen any other director in the world ever having done such a thing. So, I mean, I hope someday I get to talk to him as well. I mean, don't we all, right? Don't we all? He seems like such a genuine guy, such a great guy. Every actor and every crew member who has worked with him absolutely loves him. And I think that's one of the reasons why Warner Brothers is truly, truly afraid, because they realize that, the ground around them is shrinking. And there will come a time when the truth comes out. And man, is it going to be ugly for them. So that's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.